Hi everyone, my name is Pooja, and today I am doing a live reaction to Good Spirits by BK Borison. Originally, I was not aware of the author before, and I decided to read one of her books. And I know that I'm a very picky reader. I remember some of the books that I have read that are pretty popular. I've just decided to DNF because I just couldn't get into it. I know I'm a picky reader, I'm a pretentious reader. However, I was pleasantly surprised how well the book was and how much I really liked her writing style and the way that she is able to convey a story. So when I heard about her new book called Good Spirits, I was immediately intrigued. It was about like a ghost boyfriend and a Christmas romance. I remember a friend explaining to me about this book, and it was such a unique concept that made me want to read it. And at the time, like right now, I'm trying to be mindful of where my money is going. I was hesitant on buying it, but when I saw it in Barnes and Nobles, I felt like I had to get it, and I really loved the sprayed edges. I've also heard so much about it on BookTube. It feels like everyone is raving about it and reviewing this book. I really like BK Borison's writing style, and I'm really curious to see if it lives up to the hype. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read, and whenever something hits me, like something that is intriguing, something alarming, anything like that, I'm going to stop and tell you about what I've read. But just a quick warning, if you have not read the book, there will be spoilers. So I would first read the book and then go into this video. But if you want to experience me reading this book, feel free to continue, and I will get started with the video. I'm only 2 pages in, and I have something to say, which is kind of crazy, but she gets an envelope in the mail, and it's addressed to her mom. And she's like going over the detail, how it's handwritten, all the details in the envelope. We now have come to the conclusion that her family relationship is strained, and they get postcards, like her mother sends her postcards. So it kind of shows like even though their relationship is not the best, she's still like her mom still thinks of her, and like there's some sort of communication. And I think they both want it in some way, but we don't really know why they have a strained relationship. And I really like this description because it just kind of shows the picture of like the relationship. Not a lick of personalization or a single indication that the woman who addressed this card is the same woman who raised me. It's the same invitation my father's accountant gets, as well as the rest of the guest list for the annual York family Christmas gala. The envelope arrives every year on December 1st, like clockwork, my mother's commitment to tradition and etiquette unmatched. I place it in my bag, taking care not to bend the cardstock. As much as I wish it didn't, it matters to me that I received an invitation. It means I'm still considered part of the family, despite how strained our relationship has become. When I hear this, I think of Gilmore Girls. I remember one of the first episodes. If you've never watched Gilmore Girls, it's like about women, Lorelai. She's a mother of a 16-year-old daughter, and she lived in a really rich like family, and her family just wanted a lot of it was based on conditionals. Like she had to obey everything that her parents wanted from her, and it was more about legacy and money. I think those were the values. So she ended up rebelling a lot. She ended up getting pregnant at 16 years old, and her parents wanted her to marry the person who had kid with her. She didn't want that. The other person didn't want that. She ended up running away from her family, working from the bottom, and then being able to manage her own hotel. The first episode talks about Lorelai can't afford to put her daughter into private school for a better life. So she goes to her family and her parents to get a loan. One of the things that her mother wants is in order to pay back the bill, she has to have weekly meetings or weekly dinners with the family. her and her daughter. So I remember there was like an episode where Rory, her daughter, was having a birthday party, and there was a section of like a couple of like her dad, Lorelai's dad's friends, who just were in a circle, and they kind of just looked at Rory and just gave her gift cards and then just left. It kind of feels like that, where it's like you have to do everything that we tell you to do, and then we'll give you gifts for it, but you're not really present, and they don't really know who you are as a person. And I felt like this kind of described what that relationship was, and it just reminded me of the of Gilmore Girls. I just finished chapter 1. She's talking about her family and how she doesn't have the best relationship with her mother or her sister. And when she gets back to her apartment, a random man shows up in the middle of her apartment, and it is the ghost of Christmas past. So she has like a couple of like jingles. It's like on the first day of Christmas, like that jingle. I can't remember the song. It's been a while since I've like listened to Christmas music, and the only time I remember Christmas music is when I grew up. Our bus, when I would ride the bus, they would have Christmas jingles all the time. Otherwise, I'm just not listening to it. But the last sentence that was written was, "On the first day of December, the universe gave to me a string of bad luck and a ghost, apparently." So I just really liked that. I thought it was clever. And she has those types of like dialogue throughout the chapter, so I just thought that was cool. Today is the next day, and I know it doesn't feel like it. However, I probably have gotten at least like 20 pages. I know I'm like, yeah, I'm on page 20 right now. It's kind of sad. I am just addicted to my phone. Like I have a problem. Every time it's hard to concentrate, and I think this is why I started a channel, because I can't like live without my phone. It's awful. Really, the problem is like I'm on my phone 24/7, and I can't concentrate on this book, even though I know it's good. Like I actually am enjoying the book right now. I have no complaints. I just can't concentrate for long periods of time. And when I do feel like I need a break from reading, the first thing I do is go on my phone. So I'm trying to break that habit. In the morning, I just woke up and I spent an hour just like going through Instagram reels, and I was like, I need to stop doing this. So I kind of bribed myself and I just made a drink. And one time I went to Starbucks and they were giving free, every time you made a purchase, you would get a free cup. So I kind of bribed myself and made a drink in this Starbucks cup so I could get out of bed. But I'm going to continue to read this book, and I'll let you know what I find. I am around 66 pages in, and when I read this, I knew it was going to be a Christmas themed book. However, I didn't realize it was like, I knew it was the Christmas of like, the love interest is the ghost of the Christmas past, and his name is Logan. So he's trying to help Harriet, the main character, figure out like why he has to help her. There's like one scene where he takes her back to like a past memory. I didn't really know or like understand what I was getting myself into. I knew it was a romance, but I didn't know that, like, I know the character, the ghost of the Christmas past, but I've never actually know the story of it. I didn't realize that when like Nolan is going to help her fix, at least that's what I'm thinking, is he's going to help her mend the relationships of her past. I don't like listening to family conflicts. I just feel sad, like it makes me sad when people talk about their past or different family conflicts. It was just something that I just didn't even think about. Obviously now it makes sense why, but yeah, it was just a different, like, unexpected turn that I didn't even realize. I'm like 145, like almost halfway through the book. Now it's a little bit interesting where Nolan, the ghost of Christmas past, is helping Harriet with her memories and like uncovering different past memories. But the last time it didn't uncover her past, it uncovered Nolan's past, which is interesting because he's like there to help her. But I think now it's kind of alluding to the reverse, where she's also helping him too. So he's kind of confused on like what the assignment is about. I think I mentioned in the beginning of the video, this reminds me of Gilmore Girls. I think Harriet's family reminds me of it, where they're very like, I think they care about how their appearance and how they present themselves to the world. And it feels like her mom only cared about how she looked to other people, and she gravitated towards her aunt because her aunt didn't do that. And so there was like jealousy between both the sisters because Harriet took her aunt's side versus her mom. For me, the reason why it annoys me, or like I just don't like it, is they talk about it when they're young. Like Harriet is like a kid, and I just find it frustrating when, like, I just don't like it when I see like different stories when a parent is taking out their problems onto their kids, those type of things, because I feel that like kids don't know enough, or like they don't know better, and when they're so young it feels like sad that they just don't have agency. They don't have like anything over, like they don't have agency to like leave the situation. They have to still stay in that situation. So it just makes me sad. But I'm just going to continue on reading. I need to be honest with you guys. I'm just not going to finish this book. I'm halfway through. I'm around like page 160. This book is just not gripping me compared to her other books. I think like this book, it's not a bad book. I think I'm just not a Christmas oriented romance type of person, and it's just not my genre. I already came into a genre that it's not like I don't really care for. I feel like it's going very slowly, and I feel like a lot of the story is dragging on, and I just wasn't interested in Nolan. Not saying that he's like a bad person, or like, I just felt like there wasn't enough to grip me, keep me engaged, to know, like, to want to know more. Another thing is, like, I know a lot of romance stories do this, where they talk about physically how attractive each person is. I'm not saying people should take that out or anything like that. I just wish that like there was just more. I just wish that there was just more interaction with both of them. I think for me, I just realized I just didn't really care enough about like the progression of their relationship. It just wasn't enough for me to hold on. So I'm just gonna DNF this book for right now. Let me know like if you want me to, like, maybe I'll come back and go back and reread it, but for right now I'm just gonna DNF the book. And if you've watched my videos, I will be the first person to say I'm like a very pretentious reader. I am very picky with the books that I read, so this is not a diss to the author at all. It's just not my preference. And this is also the third time I've DNF'd a book within the videos I've created. I've thought about every time in a video, I've thought about like fake reading it or like powering through, but I just can't do it. If I'm skimming through things, I'm not gonna understand what's going on. And I feel like it would be better if I was just honest. I might have to change the format because I don't want to keep DNFing books. I think from now on, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna read random books. I'm going to find like authors that I know that I'm already invested in, or maybe do like a weekly, like what I read it in a week. So I'm not just DNFing. Like if I do DNF a book, then it just won't be the whole video itself. If you have read Good Spirits, tell me in the comments what has worked for you. Like, what did you like about the book? Because maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe it's just an off day and I just read it at the wrong time. And if you appreciate honest reviews, even if I don't finish them, please subscribe and support the channel. But thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.